Herkese merhabalar. Sally, I'll just start and then leave it to you. Ben Onur Değertaş, kendi eğitim danışmanlığından. Bugün sizlere Burnaby District School Board, yani Burnaby Okul Bölgesi'nin sunumunu göstereceğiz. Sally Stacy şu an Vancouver'dan katılıyor. Size detaylı bir sunum yapacak. Sonunda da bütün sorularınızı, yorumlarınızı ben cevaplandırmaya çalışacağım. Cevaplandıramayacağım şeyler olursa Sally'e soracağım. Programla ilgili, okulla ilgili birçok bilgi o benden daha çok sahiptir. Ben de Vancouver'da liseyi bitirdim. Orada koleje gittim. Sonra Toronto Üniversitesi'ye gittim. Ben de Vancouver'da 8 sene yaşadım. Burnaby bir anlamda Vancouver'ın bir bölgesi. Oradaki il sistemleri farklı ama Vancouver, Burnaby aynı bir şehir. Ve Burnaby bir devlet okulu. Ben de devlet okulunda okudum. Devlet okulları birçok anlamda özel okullardan çok daha iyi Kanada'da. Türkiye'yi, Amerika'yı, bu gibi ülkeleri düşünmeyin. Devlet okullarındaki eğitim kalitesi bence özellerden daha da iyi ve sonuçta akredite ediliyor ve takip ediliyor onlar. Ve ayrıca son bir haber olarak da Haziran'da başlayamadı ama Vancouver'a İstanbul'dan direkt Türk Hava Yolları'yla uçuş da olacak. Şimdi sözü Sally'e bırakıyorum. I'm leaving it to you. You have the microphone.
Thank you, Onur. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for coming this evening. My name is Sally Stacy. I'm the marketing manager for the Burnaby School District, and as Onur explained, Burnaby is in the center of the Greater Vancouver area. We have several Turkish students who have come to our school district. They've studied alongside our Canadian students. They've been successful. They have graduated. Most go on after graduation for university in North America, mainly Canada, some to the United States, and a few have gone back to university in Turkey. So here's a slide for you to show where we are. This is Canada, and we are on the west coast, so in the green area in British Columbia. There, right near the border to the US. So next slide. So this is the Greater Vancouver area, and so this is like a big city. It's like Istanbul. It's a big city with lots of different areas within that city. So Burnaby is in the center here. So even though it's in the center of this great metropolitan area, which has about 2.5 million people altogether, Burnaby itself is an area that has about 250,000 people in the center. Next slide. So in Burnaby, we have a combination of what you want from the city, and we have a lot of green space, a lot of nature there. So it's a very safe, calm, clean area for your students to live, but there's still lots of things for them to do. And we know our Turkish students are very interested in doing lots of different things in the city and also in nature. Next slide. So this is just a shot from what we call Burnaby Mountain and looking out towards the Vancouver area. Next slide. And this gives you an idea of Burnaby. You can see that there are lots of green space, but there's also the metropolitan area there too. Okay, next slide. We have very safe, welcoming neighborhoods. Your children will live with a Canadian family in Burnaby, and we will place the students, but we work very, very closely with Canby, which is an agency, a Turkish agency, and they do their own homestay, which is amazing because they're Turkish, so they know what Turkish students need and also what you as parents need. But this is a shot of a nice neighborhood in Burnaby. Next slide. Again, this gives you an overview of Burnaby. There's good public transportation in Burnaby. So you can see in the bottom corner there, the SkyTrain with the metro that goes in and out of Vancouver in about 25 minutes, and all around Burnaby. And then in the top corner there, we have public transit, the buses. This is what students use to get to and from school for the most part. And then a couple of neighborhoods you see there. Next slide. Next slide. Lots of things to do. In Burnaby, we have Canada's third largest shopping centre. This is a very popular place, of course, for the students to go and hang out. So again, lots of things to do: movies, shops, restaurants, cafes, etc. Next slide. Lots of different restaurants in Vancouver. Lots of festivals, events, libraries, museums, etc. in Burnaby as well. New slide. Also, if your student is interested in skiing or wants to try skiing, it's amazing skiing that can be done very close to Burnaby. 3 local mountains are only about 30 to 45 minutes away by public transit. Our ski season is from December through to April, and students can go up there after school with their friends, or they can go with their host families on the weekends. So that's a good opportunity for your students to learn something new and experience something that is very, very Canadian. Next slide. So much to do in Burnaby itself. New slide. One of the strongest advantages for you to send your child to Burnaby are our academics, right? So your child is probably wanting to go to study abroad, to graduate, and then go on to post-secondary, to college, to universities. Burnaby has very, very strong academics in our school district. New slide. Each year, our students graduate. Your child could apply for different scholarships. We get a lot of scholarships in Burnaby for post-secondary. And as I said, our students go on to the University of British Columbia, University of Toronto, McGill. Some have gone to Princeton, Harvard, many different universities in Canada and the United States. And also some of our students have gone back to Europe to university as well. New slide. We do a post-secondary information day every year, and then it's like a little mini fair so that the students can get lots of information about what options and opportunities that they will have to study after they graduate. New slide. New slide. New slide. Another thing that's very popular in Burnaby is the visual arts, the visual and performing arts. So if you've got a student who's interested in art or dance or drama or painting or sculpture or gaming, then there's lots of different opportunities for them to pursue those interests in Burnaby and use those courses towards graduation and college. We're very good at sports as well. And so sports is a big part, of course, of our school experience. And students can join school teams and practice sports as well. So these are just some of the sports that we have. All the schools have a wide variety of different sports that they can choose. New paragraph. We are very good at basketball, and I know a lot of the Turkish boys particularly are interested in basketball. We won in 2018 and 2020 the provincial championships. We do have sports academies, so if your child is really interested in doing extra training, sometimes outside of school but part of the school day, there's soccer, which is football, ice hockey, volleyball, and field lacrosse these are extra academies that they could join. We do have excellent support for international students, and I see a question here in the chat about studying high school in another country must be hard for young students. How do you help them cope with the culture shock and homesickness? We have a very good team in the school district and at the schools that are there to support the students. Also, of course, the homestay is very, very important in this as well. But in our team, we've got an international counselor. Every school has got an international student assistant, and that person's job is only to look after the international students in that school. So they're like the mom or dad for the student in that school. And we've got our school counselors, our homestay coordinators. So these people are integral in helping them cope with the culture shock and homesickness. And again, being with Canby in the homestays, placement is very important because you've got Turkish support there for your students. They understand the Turkish mentality and what they need. Now, we do have a 1-week orientation before school starts. So this is always at the end of August if the student is starting in September, or at the end of January if the student is starting in February. And that's when we'll test their English. We don't need any extra tests before the student comes to Canada or for the application. We test their English during orientation, and then we know how much English they will need, if they will need extra English support, what courses they can take, and what courses they cannot take. And at that time, they will meet their school counselor, and then they will plan their program. They'll know how long it's going to take them to graduate, what courses they will be taking. We give an information session, homestay information, and a local excursion. So in our schools, and we have 8 schools, of course, we have international students in all of our schools, and usually it's about 15% of the school population are international students, and they come from a wide range of different countries. So, Ono, can you press this? I don't know if the video will play.
Sorry, could you tell me again which one you want to play?
This one here at the bottom, you should be able to click it on, and there's a video of him talking.
Okay. No, it was already starting. Okay. Here you
Onur
go.
Bey, kulaklığınızı çıkarmanız lazım, yoksa sesi duyamayacağız biz.
Yeah, there.
So there is a technical problem. Onur needs to click on the green button to go on stage again.
Okay, well, let's just forget that one, and we'll just move to the next slide.
Okay.
So Onur is back. So can you please click on the
Oluyor mu?
Aynen, şu an oluyor. Ama sesi duymuyoruz, o yüzden kulaklığınızı çıkarmanızı rica edeceğim.
Çıkarttım zaten. Kulaklığımı çıkarttım. Kulaklığımı çıkarttım zaten.
Ses gelmiyor maalesef.
Benden hiç mi gelmiyor?
Yani sizin konuşmanız geliyor ama videonun sesi gelmiyor.
Vallahi bilmiyorum neden olduğunu. Hiçbir şekilde gelmiyor mu? Sally, unfortunately, they can hear me, but they cannot hear the video.
That's okay. We'll just go on to the next slide on Earth.
Okay.
Okay, now it works. I can hear the.
Yes. Duyabiliyor musunuz?
Don't worry, just go to the next slide. We can't hear that.
Oh God. Okay, now it works. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So we need full screen. There we go. Okay. So it's a pity you couldn't hear the students because there were 2 Turkish students there that were talking a little bit about their experience there. So back to Burnaby. So Burnaby has 8 secondary schools, and this is grade 8 to grade 12, so ages 13 to 18. Some of our schools are small, but what we call small, about 650 to 700 students. And a couple of our schools are larger, around 2,000 students, but most of them are around about 1,100 to 1,500 students there. So from grades 8 to grade 12. Okay, next slide. Now, there are 2 different systems of study in Canada. One is a semester system and one's a linear system. So in a semester system, students can start in September or February. And in British Columbia, where we are, students do 4 subjects per semester. So they would do 4 subjects from September to January and finish, and then 4 subjects February to June and finish, for a total of 8 subjects for the year. In the linear system, it's more like in Turkey. So go back, please. So they start in September only with 8 subjects, and they go all the way through to June with those 8 subjects. So some schools are a semester system, some schools are a linear system. There's no difference in courses or time or cost or anything. It's just a matter of the student wanting to choose what is best for him or her, what system do they prefer. So when you're looking at choosing a school for Burnaby, you can look at which schools have a semester system and which schools have a linear system. Thank you. Next slide. Okay, so we have 3 schools that have a semester system, and we have 5 schools that have a linear system. Now, most districts only have 1 system, but because Burnaby is a large school district, we are able to have the 2 different systems so students can choose. Next slide. Next, okay. One of the things that I wanted to mention too is our technology academies. One of our schools has a lot of technology courses and academies. So we have the DigiPen Academy, which is focused on game design and animation and computer science. Burnaby, we have some very big gaming companies who want to hire graduates from Burnaby. So this is a good course and program for those students if you have children that are interested in game design and animation. We also have the Palo Alto Cybersecurity Academy. So this is another very big job area that students can study for, and when they graduate, they could get jobs in cybersecurity. And we also have the Microsoft Office Specialist Academy as well at Caribou Hill. Okay, next slide. So wonderful facilities at all of our schools. Now, we are a public school district, but you will see from the facilities that our schools are as good as, if not better than, most of the private schools that you will find in North America. Next slide. Every school has got a theatre or a drama room. New slide. New slide. This is one of our theatres. This is the Michael J. Fox Theatre at Burnaby South Secondary. New slide. New slide. Every school has got a dance studio. We have some amazing dance programs. So if you've got a student interested in dance, fantastic. Music rooms, of course, and music courses in all of our schools with choirs, orchestras, marching band, etc. New slide. We also have good libraries in all of our schools. New slide. New slide. Okay. Computer rooms in all of our schools. You need to bring your computer to school. You bring your computer and keep it at the host family because you need it at home to do your homework and to FaceTime, etc., with your friends. But at school, we have computers for every student. Again, Honor, you need to go full screen. Okay, sorry.
Herkes duyabiliyor mu?
Again.
Can you hear me?
Biliyoruz Onur Bey.
There we go.
Bağlantı koptu.
So every school has got a school cafeteria with hot food. And I think when you are looking for homestay through Canby, I think there are options, and correct me if I'm wrong, Honor, there are options whether they will get their lunch from their homestay and bring it to school to eat it at school and have breakfast and dinner at the homestay, or if they can have food at the school cafeteria.
Correct. Yes, they have two options.
Okay,
yes.
Great. Okay, next slide. Every school has got a variety of art studios. So again, you know, if you've got children that are interested in art and want to pursue that as a career or just as one of their elective courses, then that's a great option too. Every school has got science labs, so their physics, their biology, and their chemistry labs. New slide. 3 of our schools have got the super labs, and these are university level science labs, so that students can pursue their science interests. New slide. We've got modern technology labs in all of our schools. New slide. New slide. Every school has got a school store. This is actually, can you go back to that one, please? The school store.
1 second. When I click on next slide, you don't see it right away. That's why it didn't show
go back to school store.
Yeah, I did. I'm back now.
Okay, thank you. Great. So every school has got a school store. And this is actually run by students who are in the business program or the entrepreneur program. So it's a great course for our international students because they get to liaise and integrate very, very well with the local students when they are doing this part of their school program. Next slide. Every school has got 2 large gymnasiums for the students. One of our schools has got an indoor running track, which is great for the winter in Burnaby because it does rain. We don't get a lot of snow, but we do get a lot of rain in the winter time. Okay, new slide. Every school has got a weight training room, so students don't need to get gymnasium memberships outside of the school. They can do their training and their workout in school, after school or before school. Every school has got outdoor playing fields, the track and field, etc., for all the different sports. New slide. And every school has got a multi-purpose room, and this is where students can meet one another, where they can have their lunch, maybe their school assemblies there in the multi-purpose room. So fabulous facilities in all of our schools. New slide. In British Columbia, we have a teachers' union. Teachers' union have said that the class size is a maximum of 27 students. In our ESL classes, it's a little smaller, 15 to 25 students. New slide. So we have different academic programs that your child can choose. We have our regular academic program that I talked about with their 8 subjects. If they need any extra English support, that's included free in the program. In grade 11, for top academic students, we have an honors program. In grade 12, we have the Advanced Placement Program. Now, these are university-level courses that students can take and then get credit for those when they start university. We do have 2 schools that have the AP Capstone Diploma. There are only 10 schools in all of Canada that can offer this. This is kind of like an IB program. We have pre-engineering courses in many of our schools. We have business administration in all of our schools. We have French immersion in Alpha and Caribou Hill. And I don't think this is appropriate for Turkey, but if you've got anybody studying Latin and ancient Greek, we do have those classes. New slide. This gives you an idea of if your student needs English language support. There are 3 different levels. So out of the 8 courses, if they're a beginner, they would do 4 classes of English language training and then 4 regular courses. In the intermediate class, they would do 3 ESL classes and then 5 of regular classes. In the advanced levels, I do language adapted English and then 7 other courses there. New slide. So part of graduation in British Columbia is that students have to do a minimum of 7 what we call elective courses between grades 10 and grade 12 in order to graduate. So these are courses that they can be academic, but they don't have to be academic. It can be something that the student is passionate about. There can be something that the student wants to learn something new about. Does all count towards graduation. And as I said, it is mandatory to do at least 7 of these different courses. And there's a wide variety of different courses that students can choose, as you can see from this slide and the next slide. These are just some other courses they can do. Many other different courses that they can do. So when they come for orientation and they meet with their school counselor, that's when the school counselor will talk to them and say, well, what sort of things are you interested in? What would you like to try? What would you like to continue on? And they build their program around what's required for graduation as far as academics go and their elective courses at that time. And each year, students can choose to change their courses if they want. Now, the school timetable, school usually starts just before 9 o'clock, and we end at 3 o'clock from Monday to Friday. There are 4 courses a day, and between courses 1 and 2 in the morning, we have a 10-minute break for nutrition. And then between 2 and 3, we have the lunch break. And then 3 and 4 in the afternoon go back to back. When school finishes at 3, that's when all the school clubs and the activities start after school that students can join for free. And again, these are great things for students to do in order to practice their English, to make friends with Canadians, and just have a lot of fun. Okay, new slide. These are some of the clubs that we offer. Every school offers probably 15 to 25 different clubs that the students can join. They're all supervised by a teacher, but they're there just for the student to have fun. Okay, new slide. We also do trips and excursions and activities for our international students. These are outside of school time for the most part, and of course do cost extra. And we have some large trips where we go to Victoria on Vancouver Island, to Fino, up to the north of the Yukon to see the Northern Lights, skiing in Whistler, Rocky Mountains, and other different excursions. New slide. New slide. We also have some day activities, and sometimes the students, local and international, will go somewhere local during their school day. It might be part of their science class or their social studies class or their physical education class, and those are free because they're part of the school program. New slide. New slide. New slide. New slide. We also do some local cultural activities. So if you go back on there to that one, please. Go back on there, please.
I did. It's so slow. Sorry.
Okay. So we do cultural things with them, so that they learn about Canada. So they learn about Halloween. They learn about how we celebrate Christmas, all the different holidays that we celebrate, and so they're learning about what it's like to live in Canada, what it's like to live in North America. When students go to post-secondary to university, of course, they can work during that time. And then some students decide at that time they're going to pursue an immigration path, and they're allowed to do that. So the pathway is come to high school, graduate from high school, go to university, work, and then apply for immigration. So again, that's another option for students, a pathway for students in Canada. New slide. So we talked a little bit about homestay. Students will be placed in homestay, and as I said, we have a homestay company that we work with, but we also have Canby, which is one of our partners in Turkey, and they have their own homestay company, and they place all of their students in their own homestays, but with the same quality of homestays that we would do as well. Next slide. So students will be living with a Canadian family. New slide. So homestay is for students aged 13 and older. If you come under 13, they have to come and live with a parent or a family member. All homestay families must pass a strict screening process. It's a criminal record check with the police. And we want no more than 2 international students per family, and preferably different languages. Students have a private bedroom, 3 meals a day, or in Canby, there's the option of 2 meals a day. And they're located between about 20 and 40 minutes commute to their school. We also put a strict curfew on what time students need to be home, so that you know that your child is going to be safe and well supervised. Okay. This is just some information from some students who had a wonderful time in their host families. Okay. Right. So I guess that's the end of the PowerPoint presentation. We seem to have missed a couple of slides, but that's okay. That's fine. So I will go on full screen with Onur if you have any questions.
Yes, I am back, I believe.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So you can either write in the chat with questions and I can answer the questions there, or you can.
Yes, I will go over the questions. Sally, by the way, the slides I was clicking, but they didn't show up right away. It took like 2 seconds each time.
Okay, no worries. No worries. We're fine. I hope that that those of you who are listening and watching got a sense of who we are and where we are and what we do. You know, we make sure that priority is safety for the students. That's our number one priority, that they are safe. You know, our number two priority, of course, is that they're happy, and we want them to succeed in school, to get the support they need in school, to be able to graduate and go on to post-secondaries, colleges, and universities. And please be aware, you know, we do our very, very best to make sure that your child is well supported when they are there. And it's hard, right? It's hard for any student, let alone somebody, you know, who's 15 or 16, to leave their family and their friends and go to a new country, a new language, a new school system. So we know it's going to be hard for your child at first. and that's where we make sure that they are well supported. We have a Keep Me Safe app where they can go on their phone and they can get counseling, or they can talk to somebody if they've got questions or concerns. And then, as I mentioned, every school has got the international student assistant who's there. They walk around the hallways. How are you doing? How are things? Come to my office if you need to chat about anything. So we do understand that it takes a while for students just to settle in. And it's very brave of them to come this far and do what they're doing. So they must be amazing children already to think about that. And you as parents, this is the best gift that you will ever give your child. The opportunities that you're opening up for your child are limitless with this experience. So thank you for trusting us.
There's the first question from IEFT. They're saying if you can provide the video that they couldn't watch, maybe they could watch it on YouTube if you would like to do that, students and parents. The video that we couldn't hear, the sound, were students, and there were 2 Turkish students. Maybe we can do that after.
Yes,
if
we'll try and do that. Yeah, we can do that.
So going through questions, if you haven't, I'll ask you a few questions. Boarding option is not available, I believe, right?
No. And public school districts in Canada do not have dormitories or boarding, right? It's only homestay. Private schools have boarding. But please remember that the public schools in Canada, I think it's 94% of students go to public school in Canada. Very, very good quality, always supervised by the government. As you can see, lots of money is put into our schools and our programs. It's always monitored by the government for standards for teaching and school and programs. Private schools, there's no one monitoring the quality. So yes, there are some very good private schools, super expensive, but there are many private schools where you would not want your child to go. So you have to be very careful if you're going to choose a private school that you're getting a good one. But in public school, it doesn't matter what public school district you go to in Canada, you know you're going to get good quality, you know your student's going to be well supervised, and you don't have to worry if you go to a public school district in Canada. Very different from the United States, right? Very different from the United States.
Some questions are in Turkish, some are in English, but I will give answers in both languages.
Yeah.
When you do English. I can briefly tell.
Okay.
Bahsettiği şey Selvi Hanım'ın Kanada'da devlet okulları Eğitim Bakanı tarafından kontrol altında tutuluyor ve eğitim kaliteleri neler yapıldığı her zaman gözetim altında ve çok büyük para yatırıyor hükümet. Özel okullara gittiğinizde birkaç tane çok pahalı özel okul var ama devlet okullarında ki eğitimi o birkaç okul dışında hiçbir yerde kolay alamıyorsunuz. Çok fazla özel okul var ve çok iyi değiller. Devlet okuluna gönderdiğinizde çocuğunuzu gözünüz arkada kalmıyor ve boarding opsiyonu, yani bu yatılı okul devlet okullarında yok, bazı özellerde var. Devlet okulda ben de okudum, onu söyleyeyim. So I'm going to the second question. How are you planning to cope with COVID-19 for international students? Will the homestay families accept them at this time of the year? How is it with your...
Something that owner can answer regarding homestay, since he will be doing, or will be doing homestay for them. But of course, we're extremely aware of COVID. One of the advantages of sending your child to British Columbia, to Burnaby in British Columbia, is that British Columbia has done an amazing job with COVID. We have I think now it's the lowest rate per population anywhere, basically, apart from Australia and New Zealand. And we've flattened what we call flattened the curve here. So even for Canada, we are way ahead of the rest of Canada as far as having COVID under control. But until there's a vaccine, we don't know what's going to happen. But Onur, if you can talk about the homestays in that case.
Homestaylerin öğrencileri almasında herhangi bir sıkıntı yok. Selvi Hanım'ın anlattığı da özetle British Columbia eyaleti, özellikle Kanada'dan ve birçok çok düşük olan ülkeden bile daha düşük şeylere sahip, yani hasta sayısına sahip oldu ve her şey düzeliyor. Tabii Aşı bulunana kadar hiçbir zaman bilemeyiz neyin ne olacağını. Fakat biz diyor çok iyi bir durumdayız bu anlamda. I explained. Our class is relatively hard compared to Turkish school curriculum. Do students need tutoring? They are not more difficult than Turkish classes, I know. I was in high school in Turkey. Dersler Türkiye'deki müfredattan daha mı zor diye soruyorlar. Öğrencilerin özel derse ihtiyacı var mı? Hayır, Kanada'da dersler daha kolay. This is a good question. Tutoring. Most students in public schools, domestic or international, they don't take tutoring. I don't remember many people doing it.
Actually, it's not quite true. But tutoring it's not private tutoring where you have to pay.
That's what they mean.
Students who are struggling in one course or another course, because not everybody's good at everything. We have after-school peer tutoring. So that means that an older student who's good in that subject will tutor after school your student. So if, for example, your student is having trouble with biology in grade 11, then they can go to after-school peer tutoring, stay at school, and then meet with a grade 12 student who's good at biology, and that student can tutor them through that. And it's free. It's a free class.
This system doesn't exist, so what they have in mind is like paying someone outside.
Yes, so just explain that you don't have to pay somebody else. You can have it done in school.
Daha büyük öğrenciler veya öğretmenlerden de alabiliyorlar. Okulda, ben de orada okuduğum için diyorum, dersten sonra zorlandıkları alanlarda ders almaları, özel ders dediğimiz ama para vermeden devletin çatısı altında okulda almaları mümkün. I explained. What kind of applied skills students can get while studying? I don't know exactly what they mean by that, but applied skills, you explained quite a bit, actually.
I'm not sure what you mean by applied skills.
I'm reading it, but I don't know.
Practical skills, it would depend on what courses that the student takes. Part of the requirement for British Columbia graduation is a minimum of 30 hours of volunteering work experience. And in schools, we set up students to do that work experience as well. And they can choose from a wide variety of different options there.
How many?
A minimum of 30.
Okay. 30 saatlik bir iş deneyimi de gerekiyor mezun olmak için ve söylediği gibi ne dersler aldıklarına bağlı, yani seçmeli dersler veya ana dersler. Ona göre applied skills dediğiniz şey yani ek becerileri vesaire de gelişebilir. Elective courses look very beneficial for students. Do they provide college credit? College credit, I guess they mean
graduation credit. Yes. An elective course just means that it's not a required course for graduation. So elective means choose. So you can choose what you want to do, but they all have credit towards graduation. And you must have a minimum of 7 elective courses in order to graduate.
Minimum 7 seçmeli ders almanız gerekiyor ve bunların için bu birçok seçenekten seçebiliyorsunuz. Mezun olmak için zorunlu dersler değil onlar ama bütün işte 20'ye yakın özel seçmeli dersten 7 tane seçmeniz gerekiyor. Ve evet, lise bitirimine dair de kredi veriyor. Which universities you have direct agreement after high school? There's no such thing as far as I know.
There's no such thing as direct agreements, and even private schools that promote they have direct agreements with universities. It's not true. It's not possible to have a direct agreement. Every student from every school, private or public, must apply directly to a university. You have to have graduated from the BC Public Ministry of Education curriculum. Whether you do it in a private school or a public school, you have to graduate with that. That's your ticket to apply to any university in North America. So students graduating from Burnaby or any public school district have that ticket to apply to any university in Canada. In the United States, they can apply to university there, but they also have to have the entrance exam to go to US as well.
Hiçbir özel okulun veya devlet okulunun direkt bir üniversiteyle anlaşması yok. They unfortunately do that. I know it's false marketing. yani yalan bir pazarlama taktiği bu. Özel okulların veya devletlerin hiçbirinin yok. Ne okuldan mezun olursanız olun, British Columbia eyaletinin temel lise diplomasıyla mezun oluyorsunuz ve Kanada'da veya Amerika'da üniversiteye direkt kendiniz başvuruyorsunuz. Nereden başvurduğunuz, hangi okuldan mezun olduğunuz önemli değil. Amerika'da sınavları da olabiliyor üniversite girişi için. Kanada'da öyle bir sınav yok. Two more questions, I'll go quickly. Are there student clubs to motivate international students to get socialized with their Canadian peers? Yes, you explained it. It was probably during the presentation. Can students cook at home if they choose the homestay option? Whether they do it with you or with us, it's usually unlikely. Homestays do not want this because of insurance and many other reasons. Aileler çok sıcak bakmıyorlar buna çünkü sigortadan dolayı yani evin sigortasından dolayı 18 yaşın altında birinin yemek pişirmesi yani yakması evi gibi bir sürü sıkıntı olabilir. Ve genel olarak da sevmiyorlar yani öğrencinin peşinden temizlemek istemezler. Belki hani birinin çocuğu çok temiz olur ardından temizler ama ona bırakmak istemiyorlar. Pek hoşnut değiller. Yeah, they don't like students, especially minors, cooking. Hello, my niece is studying in Turkish. He's
right.
in...
The answer to that is no. There are no scholarships to go into high school. Scholarships are only for post-secondary.
Post-secondary, yes. Is there any possibility that she can have a scholarship? Oh, okay, you're reading the... Could you speak of your Turkish students? No, okay, there's no scholarship. No scholarship.
No.
In
so
high school.
No scholarship for going into high school.
Kanada üniversite eğitimi başlamak amacıyla lise son sınıfta lise eğitimine katılmak çok mu dezavantajlı olur? Is it a disadvantage to start your high school in your last grade, grade 12, if you want to go on to the university in Canada?
You can never graduate in 1 year. If you come in grade 12, it's still going to take you a minimum of 2 years to graduate because there are required courses that you have to do in grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. So you would have to go back and do some of those courses as well as your grade 12. And also it depends on the English language level as well. So we will never say a student can graduate in 1 year, an international student in 1 year. So you have to think of at least 4 semesters, 2 years in order to graduate. So the best thing is to come in grade 10, minimum grade 11, gives you time to acclimate to the culture, gives you time to improve your English. You will be doing your program with the right courses that you have, and you will graduate in the 2 years. So that's the best option.
Even if a student doesn't need any ESL. I'll explain that right now.
Even if they don't need any ESL, they're still going to have to go back and do some of their grade 10 and grade 11 courses.
I'm going to say in Turkish, yes. Hiçbir ESL dersi yani İngilizce hazırlık dersi almanıza gerek olmasa bile bir senede bitirmeniz mümkün değil. Çünkü 10. 11. ve 12. sınıflarda almanız gereken zorunlu dersler var. Bunları bir senede bitirmeniz mümkün değil. Minimum 2 sene sürer diyor. Yani ya da yaz okulu artı bir dönem yine 2 seneye varıyor. The first question on top was, is there any minimum English requirement?
No, there's not. So remember that in orientation, that's when we'll test their English, and that's when we will find out how much support that the student will need, and then build the program around that. So if it's a beginning student, they would do, out of 8 courses, 4 of those would be English as a second language, and 4 of them would be some regular courses with local students.
And you had a slide, if I remember, there were some plans, yes. İngilizce zorunluluğu, minimum bir İngilizce zorunluluğu yok. Bir saniye, 1 second. Annemin telefonu. İngilizce zorunluluğu yok fakat öğrencinin İngilizce durumuna göre 4+4 İngilizce alması mümkün. Veya şöyle de olabiliyor, full İngilizce de alabilir ama ilk gün yapılan sınava göre karar veriliyor ve herhangi bir belirli bir minimum gereklilik diye bir şey yok. Devam edeyim. How are you? No, that's not. Okay, going down. Mezunuz hangi üniversite? Which university? Students, like your graduate school, you explained it. There were lots of universities. Kanada
The most popular ones, of course, are the ones that are local for us. So University of British Columbia is one of the top 10 universities in Canada, and that's in Vancouver. It's only 30 minutes away. Simon Fraser University is one of the top universities, and that's right in Burnaby. So those two are very popular for the students to go to because they have their network, their friends already in the Burnaby, Vancouver area. So they like to stay in that area. But some students go across Canada to other universities or, as I said, to the United States.
UBC and SFU, you said, right?
Yes.
University of British Columbia dedikleri ve Simon Fraser, yani Vancouver'daki iki üniversite. En çok ona gidiyorlar. Diğer arkadaşları da genelde oraya gidiyor ama Kanada'da, Amerika'da bir sürü üniversiteye gidiyorlar. Avrupa'ya da gidiyorlar. Toronto'da kızım okuyor, York'ta okuyor. Toronto Lise düşünüyorum. Erkek çocuğu okuyacak. Someone is asking about high school in Toronto. They can ask me after. Toronto'daki lise eğitimi için benimle irtibat kurabilirsiniz. Lise sonundaki İngilizce sınavı zor oluyor mu? Is the grade 12 last year English language exam in high school difficult? Is there? I don't know where they heard this from.
Yes, it is. It's difficult for local students. It's difficult for international students. Because there's a lot of, like you would do in Turkey when you're going to graduate, there's a lot of literature, there's a lot of essay writing, you have to read books. It's not a language course. It's not about English language. It's about culture and literature and literacy and writing and reading. So yeah, it's a difficult course. All of our courses for graduation, you have to have a certain quality in order for you to be successful at university. But our teachers teach towards the exam. They make sure that that the students are well prepared for the exam. Students pass the exam, obviously, because they graduate. But yeah, it takes a lot of work and homework and study, like anything else in school. This is not a cruise, an easy pass.
Sonuçta her okulda olduğu gibi kolay değil. Uluslararası öğrenciler veya yerli öğrenciler de sınavda sadece küçük bir İngilizce bilgisinden değil, işte İngilizce, edebiyat, kültürü, bununla ilgili detaylı bir sınavdan geçiyorlar. Kolay değil. Doğal olarak öğrenciler geçiyor ki mezun oluyor. Fakat iyi çalışmaları gerekiyor. Çok zor mu? Değil, öyle diyemem. There was one more Turkish question. Kanada lise eğitim alan uluslararası öğrenciler devlet üniversitelerine ücretsiz girebiliyorlar mı? Ne yazık ki hayır, öyle bir sistem yok. Hatta vatandaşlara da ücretli. Tabii daha ucuz ama lise eğitimini almak devlet lisesinde veya herhangi bir lisede devlet üniversitelerine ücretsiz girme hakkı kazandırmıyor. Students who go to high school in Canada, can they go to public universities in Canada for free? I said no. Then domestic students don't go for free. So it doesn't matter what high school you go to. Sorular bu kadar. I see only.
Remember, there are scholarships. So if you are a good student, you can apply for a variety of different scholarships and get some of your tuition paid, or very good students will often get a full ride, which is full tuition paid. So if you are a strong student, then you can get scholarships to go on to university.
Bahsettiği Seli Hanım'ın yine burs. Eğer diyor lisede iyi bir öğrenciyseniz üniversiteye geçerken bunu yapabilirsiniz. I see one last question. Are students supposed to transfer only in grade 10, or if they're going to grade 11, can they? Yes, you explained it. You said they can do that as well. Even in grade 12 they can do, but they shouldn't expect to graduate in 1 year. That's all. They can. 10. sınıf, 11. sınıf, 12. sınıf istediğiniz zaman geçebilirsiniz. Sadece şunu söylemişti Seli Hanım. Eğer 12. sınıfta geçiyorsanız bir senede mezun olma ihtimaliniz yok. Ama 11'de geçerseniz 11 ve 12 orada okuyup İngilizceniz de iyiyse mezun olma imkanınız var ve geçebilirsiniz tabii ki. If they transfer in grade 11 and if they have a very strong English, they could graduate in 2 years. Grade 11 and 12 in 2 years, it's possible. If it's grade 12,
if their English is very good.
Very good, yes, I said. Eğer İngilizceniz çok iyiyse. If they need no other ESL. Okay, I put my phone number and email. I'm going to say if they can contact me. If you want, you can write your email. They can contact me if you like, whatever way you would like.
No, but I would be happy if you contacted Onur. You've got his email address there and his phone number. Onur knows our programs. He's been through the high school program in Canada. He knows Burnaby very well. We also communicate very quickly through WhatsApp. So if there are questions that Onur is not sure about, he can contact me. He contacts me very, very easily and very quickly, and we can get the information back to you at that time.
Benimle irtibat kurabileceğinizi söyledi. Yaklaşık 18 yıldır çalışıyoruz. Burnaby ile de neredeyse o kadar süredir. Ve hep iletişim halindeyiz. Bilmediğim şeyler olduğunda da onlara danışıyorum. Ve Vancouver'da sürekli gidiyoruz. Yani senenin yarısı oradayız biz. Toronto'ya da gidiyorum. Babamla beraber çalışıyorum ben. İkimiz de bir Vancouver, bir Toronto, Montreal hatta her tarafa gidiyoruz. Yani Vancouver çok uzun süre durduğumuz yer. İletişim kurabilirsiniz. I said we're all over Canada, but especially Vancouver. We spend quite a bit of time. We go back and forth. So, and sorry about the technical, the glitches and delays.
Okay, all good.
Kusura bakmayın. PowerPoint biraz takıldı ara sıra. Umarım güzel bir sunum olmuştur. I hope everyone liked it. Thank you.
I hope so too. I hope it was helpful. It's a big decision to send your child abroad, and of course you want to make sure that you're sending them to the right country, and then within the right country, the right school there. So good luck with the decision. We are here for you if you have any questions for us, for Onur, even for me, about what the options would be for your child. So thank you very much, and much appreciated this opportunity.
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Onur. Thanks for participating. It's a webinar, and I hope to see you, both of you, in IEFT fairs in October in Istanbul.
We hope we can travel again by then.
Yes. All right. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.